Hi, I'm Randy McAbee, Tackle Warehouse Pro. We're on the Central Coast today. It's late summer. And what I'm going to be doing is, typically I'd pick up a crankbait and I'd just start going down the bank. But I found here in the late summer that these fish are pulling up on key little pieces of cover. So I'm really only going to pick this up about 10 times today, but I'm gonna target one specific little piece of cover that that little better quality fish have been pulling up on. And it's only a 2 or 3 cast deal, and then I'm going to move on. So make a couple casts and see what happens here. What I got here is it's a perfect scenario. It's a point in the river, and right off the edge of this point is a stump. And just from fishing this lake years when the water was low, knowing all these little key spots when the water comes up like it is now, and being able to make that right cast and deflect it off the stump. The problem with throwing it into what was really a danger spot is getting it hung up, and that's why I've chosen a square bill. Is it'll deflect off of these stumps a lot better. Because if you hang up, then you got to go up and get it off, and you've basically ruined the spot, and you go to the next one.
So that's because we could do some kind of.
There she is. Not a big one, but came off right where it's supposed to. There's a little lay down right there, and pop it off the lay down, pause it for just a second, and she ran up there and grabbed it. And she got a whole bunch of it. This shallow running square bill crankbait is something you can do all through the summer. We're here in the summertime. Water temperature is nearly 80 degrees. And, you know, most of the fish are out. And I found, because I've been here quite a bit lately, I found that the fish are actually suspended. So they're really hard to catch offshore or on finesse worms or jigs or whatever. So with the water level as high as it is, I have found that there's key little pieces of structure that I can run around, and my odds are better off catching 5 good ones off that structure than to go out there and try to even catch 5 out there suspended where they're really tough to catch. So right here when we get to this corner, just on the back side of this corner, there's another little key limb that I've been catching a good one off of almost every time I come here. The gear I like to use when I'm fishing like this is I use a 7-foot 5-power cranking rod. 7/6 gets a little too long. You know, I'm having to do a lot of roll casting under trees, in and around the bushes, and get it in real tight spots. So a 7-foot cranking rod is a lot better to do that with. A high gear ratio reel, because I'm moving down the bank a lot of times so fast I want to pick it up and be able to work my crankbait effectively. And then the line, I'm usually always throwing about 12-pound fluorocarbon around the cover and stuff. 10 seems to be, you know, if they wrap you around one little limb, they could break you off pretty easy. 12 even seems to be a little light sometimes, but I want to be able to get this bait down into that 6-8 foot range, as deep as I can get it down, because them logs will lay all the way out into 10 and 12 foot. When I hit a piece of cover like I just did, what I'll do is I'll reel it down and I'll bump that bait into the cover real hard, and I'll pause it for just a second. A lot of times these fish, they hear it, they see it, or they feel it coming, then it hits whatever it hits, and it makes a completely different sound. And if you pause it and he turns and looks at it, a lot of times he'll eat it then, or after the pause for just a second, you start your retrieve again, and as soon as it takes off, they can't resist it and they go ahead and grab it. The gear I prefer to use when I'm throwing a square bill is a Dobyns. It's a 705 cranking rod. It's a little heavier action, 7-foot rod, and the reason I like the heavier action is to get the fish out of the cover. And it also, with the size of the bait I'm throwing, the softer rods load up too much, and I can make a more accurate cast with a little bit stiffer rod. The reel is a Daiwa Zillion. It's the coastal inshore 7-3-1. It's just a reel I fell in love with for cranking. Fast gear ratio, so I can pick up a lot of line when the boat's moving down the bank. I'm throwing Lake Fort FHP 12-pound fluorocarbon, and attached to the end is the Strike King KVD 2.5. And the reason I like this bait is it's got a bulky body. It runs good through the water. With the square bill, it deflects off a bunch of things. It's got great hooks straight out of the package, and it doesn't hurt the pocketbook, because where I'm casting these things, I mean, it's inevitable. You're going to lose baits. I mean, I'm throwing them back up into laydowns, getting them far back into the cover as I can, and eventually you're going to lose a few. All this tackle available at Tackle Warehouse. See you next time.